At 4:30 a.m., I have a question for you. Is your morning routine actually the real lever that creates a productive day for you? Hey everyone, it's John Cheplak coming to you from my little studio here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, and just getting ready to start my day, my week. And what I wanted to share with you is some tips that maybe can help you. There's so many different strategies, tactics in business. There's so many different pieces of framework, whether it's our health, it's our fitness, it's our perfect day, all those types of things. And so what I want to pass along to you are some of the things that have worked really, really well for me. And they're not for everyone. They're very, very simple. And really the greatest classroom that I get to sit in starts today at 4:50 a.m. and it will continue doing the math. Actually, in 2020, I will do 4,000 one-on-one coaching calls. 4,000 one-on-one coaching calls with highly productive people. And so there's a couple things that go with that. An amazing privilege that I get. Number two, with privilege comes massive responsibility. And so with privilege and responsibility, I need to constantly show up as my best version of self as a leader, and just perform at the very, very highest level. So the other part that goes with that, though, that I want you to know is that to be able to do that, not just show up, you've got to take care of yourself. So here are some of the discoveries that I've had. And first of all, I'll go with the many productive people that I get to work with is we'll do a lot of what we call self-directed work groups. They're accountability groups. It's a massive lever that has really moved production, and it's not even skill training that we do in real estate offices and real estate companies and teams. And everyone, not everyone, that's pretty sweeping. I want to start getting up by 5 a.m. I want to start getting up at 6 a.m. And remember this theme. If something's not working out, maybe you're aiming for the wrong target. If something isn't working out for you, you're not getting the result that you want, you're aiming for the wrong target. So watch this. I want to get up at 6 a.m. I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. I'm going to get up at 4 a.m. And I constantly ask people, I said, okay, so is getting up the issue, or does the perfect day start the day before? And I personally know this. The perfect day or the perfect morning, however you want to phrase it or approach it, it starts the day before. So tip number one, stop focusing. If you're right now wanting to get up earlier and it's a little bit of a struggle, stop focusing on what time you're going to get up. Let it go. That's the wrong target. You need to be obsessed with what time you're going to bed, period. What time are you going to bed? Me personally, it's 8 p.m. last night, and I'll talk to you a little bit about that. My theme for 2020. I went to bed at 8 p.m. last night. My alarm is set at 3:30 a.m. this morning. So tip number one, abandon what time you're going to get up. Focus on what time you're going to go to bed. I bet something interesting will happen. You won't need an alarm clock. You don't need an alarm clock. Here's number two. And with all due respect, if a gratitude list, if prayer, meditation, all those are wonderful things that actually work very, very well. But if you feel that, you're not getting the most out of that, and the other part too is to, question everything by testing it. Question everything you're taught and told by testing it, okay? So here's what I've found is people are telling me that, I want to have the perfect morning and I do A, B, C, D, E. The reality of people, knocking off this amazing list of things, I don't know. I don't hear too many people that do. And what I've found to have a greater capacity is keep it simple. In my business, what I look at one thing. I have one lever, that's it. It's very interesting. That one lever, it's a number. And underneath that, it tells me everything that I need to do. It just happens. Now I've got this time where, the one thing, I go to bed. What time I go to bed? My first coaching call on Tuesdays is at 2:55 a.m. With a guy that does about $900 million a year in mortgages. Yeah, a mortgage team. And so, you're not going to stroll out of bed at 2:30 a.m. and throw some coffee in and 20 minutes later just show up at the highest level. No way. You're going to get up at 1 a.m., 1:30 a.m. at the latest, and get yourself into your day. But keep it really simple. So lever number 2 is this. Maybe if you got your gratitude list, your prayer, your meditation. I'm not saying abandon those things, but here's something else that's worked really, really well. And it was taught to me a long time ago. Write a regret list. Write a regret list. That if I don't get these 3 things done, and just try it, move away. I'm not saying move away from prayer, and if that's something that's really important to you, that's fine. But all these other great big things that you need to do, try it for a week. Make a micro commitment for 5 days, 6 days, 7 days. I want you to write down 3 things that you'll regret if you don't get them done. Now here's the critical part of it, is you've got to take inventory. The morning time frame is a time to take inventory. Reflect on the day before, reflect on the week before, and then look at the go forward for the week. But then also it's a micro commitment. I just need to check off today. That's the other thing. Overwhelm is shutting you down. You're thinking about all these things that are going on. Man, if I got into, I've got 80 coaching calls. I've got to catch a flight Thursday night, a red eye, and then I've got to speak on Friday in Cleveland. Then I've got to fly back. It's like, whoa, massive overwhelm, okay? Overwhelm is shutting you down. Look at all the things that you're packing in front of you. I'm a very, very simple guy that I believe is able to get a lot of things done and move a lot of space, because I have to break things down into what's right in front of me. So write down 3 things that you regret. Now the key piece is you've got to do inventory at night, 8 p.m., whatever that time frame. Schedule an appointment, a time to take a look at those 3 things. Did I get them done? Now here's the next part of that though too, is you can't be a judge of yourself. This thing of punishment, I don't know that I believe in punishment. I think that you got to shave your head if you don't do this or something. And again, that may work for some people. For me though, it's just notice and observing. Be a witness, not a judge. Be a witness, not a judge. Okay, so number 1, your number 1 lever, stop focusing on when you're going to get up. Focus on what time you're going to bed. Number 2, when you do get up in the mornings, do this all week. Write down 3 things you'll regret if you don't get them done. Here's the final piece that may surprise some people. I wasn't even aware, and I think there's a book out there, I guess, that comes out around the first of the year, where people focus on the first year, the 1-word theme, or your 1 word for the year. I'd never read the book. I saw some things going along the interwebs, and then I think I saw something a couple of weeks ago. Someone had posted that book online. I had already created a theme, and so here's the third part to it, and it might shock some people because people see me in the gym at 2 a.m. and going in this massive schedule, and my day-to-day is really massive, and all the things that go on in my life outside of my business that people see and they don't see. So here's the number 1 way to get yourself more time. And I'm obsessed with it this year, and it's rest. Rest. Rest is the lever. It's been unbelievable. I've worked a lot in my growth, and it's always been willpower, and it's a muscle, and a muscle gets fatigued, and the heart's a muscle too. But heart has a little bit more going with it, and for me, it's less of that masculine energy and more of the feminine energy, and the heart, of course, is really taps you into that, and rest. And here's what I mean by rest. You look at what time I'm going to bed and what time I'm getting up. There's a second piece of rest I want you to really think about, and it's the big one. It's a rest from the energy of other people. I'm very out there with a lot of people interacting, and then my personal life is very non-interactive, I guess I would say. It's interactive in the spaces and places that really matter to me. Whether it's a very, very small circle of friends that are thriving to be the best that they can be in their personal or professional life. Also people that sure, they're high performers, but they're very humble and willing to share where they fall down. No one's trying to impress one another. I mean, that gets just exhausting, listening to baloney, if you will. And so with rest, it's not only sleep, but it's just quiet time. What we don't understand is the energy that we take on from other people and interactions. And if you're a leader, you need rest more than anyone, because you wake up every single day and you pour out to people. I'm taking more time for rest right now, and I can tell you this, the productivity, and sure, it's natural, it's a simple equation. High performance is not this calculus equation. It's really simple stuff. But certainly show up even better, which I want to constantly do, feel better, and I have a lot more time. The reason I have a lot more time is because and when I look at time as free time for me, quiet time for me, is when we really focus on performing at the highest level, we gain a lot more distance in the results, okay? We get a lot more distance in our results. And when we get a lot more distance in our results, it creates more opportunities for us. So just to recap, what time are you gonna go to bed tonight? Not what time are you gonna get up. Not your gratitude list or all these amazing things you're gonna accomplish. Write down 3 things that you are going to regret if you don't get them done. And number 3 is write down 3 things you'll regret if you don't get them done today. This morning, right now. I know it's very early throughout North America because it's very early here. And then take inventory at night. So I hope you found those 3 little levers helpful. It's coming straight from my life and my business, which is very, very busy. And, you know, my busyness isn't any more important than anyone else, but I just know that I'm going at a pretty good pace myself. And those are the things that have created a lot of good for me. And I hope they do for you. Talk to you guys later.